more practice. You could be right. You could be right. Let's move you over. I actually wanted to play Joy to the World because today I wanted to talk about maybe a little bit of joy to the world. First of all, let me welcome you to another TIBS TV mini chat. I'm Joan Turner, founder of theintuitivebodyandsoul.com. And I want to talk to you about all of the fear. I want us to not have fear. I want us to be joyful. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about some things that I have been hearing from folks. So that has me just a teensy bit kind of concerned. Everyone knows that, or everyone should know, that COVID is a very real thing. Most of us know someone who's gotten sick or even worse. Okay, but and the reasons about uh, where and why COVID is here is maybe the topic for another conversation, as it's kind of beyond the scope of this particular conversation. But I wanted to talk to you about the whole fear thing. Um, I call it fear porn. Just the media, I guess, but even people themselves are kind of spreading fear, and this is the holiday season. We should be spreading good cheer and all kinds of things. So I just want to tell you a few stories that I have heard that have me a little bit concerned. One is about an elderly woman that lives with her children, and she got COVID, and her family. Now she lives in the same house with her daughter and her son-in-law, and they would not enter her room. Okay, they left her food outside by the door, and she would have to go and get her food. I, it breaks my heart to hear these stories. Um, there's another woman who has been she's been vaccinated, she's been boosted from here to and she still wears her mask everywhere. And it's not an N95 certainly, which N95s are probably the only things that probably really work, but even those are kind of not meant to be worn constantly because of the germs and whatnot. But to make a long story short, this woman who's had all this vaccination and boosting and all this and that sneezed in her mask. And so she got a tissue, she pulled her mask down, blew her nose and cleaned her mouth, and then pulled her mask back up. And I mean, that's kind of something that was difficult to unsee. And maybe I'm being old-fashioned here, but I would think that sneezing into a tissue and throwing it away would probably be more efficient and better for you, certainly. Um, and then other stories, such as a very dear friend and her husband were invited to a birthday party. And when the birthday party people found out that they were against vaccinations because they were not sure, for them it was not a good option, they were uninvited. This caused a great deal of hurt feelings. Um, And this is not, these are things that you can't take back. A mother who raised a family and uh, gave up a lot to raise her family, being treated like, okay, well, put your food outside the door, wait till we move, then you can kind of go eat food. To two women with a close relationship now being compromised, I guess, because of fear. This is fear that is causing these issues. Another woman that I totally love her dearly and everything that she stands for, and she's just an amazing person, was telling me that during this holiday season, her family is having a humongous party, all of the families coming together. And I was like, oh, good. I'm so happy. I'm glad to hear that that people are coming together when at this time when it's needed most. And then she proceeded to tell me that it did not, now these 100 people, didn't matter if they had vaccinations or have been boosted to kingdom come, whatever, they each person showing up at this party had to show up with a negative COVID result test. I was like, huh? You know, and is that a good idea? I don't know. But my point is that this comes from a place of fear. People are feeding into fear, and they're using this fear to make decisions. Like I said, everyone knows COVID is real, but please use common sense. If you're going to sneeze into your mask, at least put a clean mask on or something. Um, I'm not real, I don't want to offend everyone. Everyone certainly is entitled to their choices and everyone does what they think is best. But please use facts. Use facts from independent studies. Okay, the FDA, we want to think that our government has our best interests at heart, but FDA approving a vaccine. Vaccines are usually tested for a good 10 years. This one was tested for a good 5.5 months. And people are like, well, what's the difference between this vaccine? About 9.5 years of testing. And there's a lot of other reasons to question, who's pulling the strings here. I recently came across an article where the FDA had approved 9 foods in this country that are totally outlawed by other countries. So, so that gives a question mark about the FDA. And what about, the CDC, World Health Organization? Who are the biggest contributors to those people? So, folks who are questioning these government agencies and establishments are well within their rights to do so, just as people are within their rights certainly to be vaccinated and so on and so forth, and stay within your comfort zone. If you're going to be uncomfortable around people who don't believe the same thing that you do, this type of thing. I'm not asking anyone to do anything except don't make your decisions based on fear. Make your decisions based on facts, okay? And make sure your facts can be backed up. Not only, is fear causing rifts and hurt feelings, married couples, the whole question about, is it okay to vaccinate children who are still growing and developing? One spouse thinks, yeah, they should get vaccinated. The other spouse thinks like, well, gee, even if there's a slim chance, maybe we shouldn't take that chance with our son or daughter. So this is actually causing rifts between parents as well. Okay, and these again are born of fear. So take the time to do the research and do the research, an independent study. Okay, there's a difference between a mandate and a law. Okay, a mandate it can be implemented and is certainly like a law in that it can be upheld like a law, and and mandates fall into place when there's a state of emergency. As of June 2021, we're no longer in a state of emergency. And this is on our own government websites. So that automatically revokes mandates. Yet we still have people losing their jobs because their companies are insisting that they be vaccinated, whether they believe it's for them or safe for them or not safe for them. And a lot of people from the vaccinations, most people that I know who have been vaccinated seem to do okay after a couple of days, but that's no consolation to the ones that are not doing okay. Um, so, check your facts and look deeply and make your decisions and your recommendations based on those facts, okay? Not fear, please. Okay. And everyone have a fearless holiday season. And as always, be legendary, my friends. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.